This is episode 29 of the TO SportsTalk podcast. I'm your host, James Price, along with Evan Brown. How's it going, buddy, on this great Friday afternoon?
Weekend's almost here. Me and you were ready for it. In almost episode 30. We've done almost 30 of these. Unbelievable.
That's 30 weeks.
That's more than 60 hours.
That's a lot. Well, no, I mean, okay, I don't know about that.
Well, if you do the math, but,
okay,
close to 60 hours.
But holy smokes, it has gone by fast. That is for darn sure. But we're going to start off with something not something we normally do. We're going to talk a little bit of NFL and Thursday Night Football, obviously, last night, and history was made in the NFL. The Cleveland Browns won a football game against the New York Jets 21-17 in Cleveland, and man, oh man, that was the first time in how long they were actually favored to win
365 days. They were favored to win this game in Cleveland again, but Hugh Jackson, the coach of this team, right? He's won 32-1. So that just speaks for itself, and he's contemplating on not even starting Baker Mayfield next week. He won them the game.
He had 201 yards with obviously a touchdown. It was a huge, obviously the main factor.
No
in the game.
picks. I don't think he threw a pick at all.
No, he didn't. And he came in at halftime down 14-0. He come back and win 21-17.
He's the reason why they won that game. So, Cleveland, congratulations.
First win in 635 days.
Crazy. Well, anyways, guys, we're going to be starting off with the Leafs, and we're going to be breaking down the two wins against the Senators, 4-1 with both games, right? So, people that impressed us, people that really didn't, and breaking down the next two preseason games against the Buffalo Sabres, and also contract talks. Certain someone hasn't signed yet, so we're going to be breaking that down.
And obviously for the Blue Jays, we were going to go with them last, but I think after last night's fiasco of being with the tying the franchise record with the biggest comeback in franchise history, you gotta talk about that, coming back from 8-2 and winning 9-8. The rookies being a big part of that. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the rookies, and we'll talk about how the playoffs are shaking up in the American League and the National League. It is a doozy in both sides.
And last but not least, the Raptors. We're going to be talking about Media Day. How it is soon. Preseason is almost starting for the Raptors, and the Kawhi Leonard the press conference has been pushed back a little bit, so we're going to be talking about that, and also rumors of certain Jimmy Butler. We're going to be talking about that, and like I said, rumors just around the league. So let's get this puppy rolling with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
And my goodness.
Starting off.
What a great start to the preseason for the Toronto Maple Leafs. 4-1 winners in both games.
Which we kind of expected, though.
You expected them to win, but they were pretty solid in both games.
So let's break this. Well, not really break it down, but obviously Johnny T with 2 goals in the first game. The first one looked nasty. The first goal he scored.
The patience of the guy.
Yeah, the patience. I mean, Ottawa Senators, you do not leave John Tavares down low like that. I don't know who was on him. I don't know.
Well, the problem was nobody was on him, and that
was the problem.
He had a line. He was right on the goal line, almost in the corner, and he got the puck and just skated right to the front of the net. No one was even close to him.
It was the shot too, and I guarantee you, who was in net for the Senators? Holmberg or something like that? I guarantee you, if Craig Anderson was in net, he wouldn't have saved that. That was a top cheese snap.
It's an in-tight shot for John Flippin' Tavares. I mean, it's going to be...
Yeah,
it's tough.
Right, it is tough. But no, he definitely excited all Leaf fans.
Now, before we talk about certain players and stuff like that, let's start from the goaltending out. And the big question going into the year is obviously the backup spot with Sparks and Curtis McElhinney. And the crazy thing about Game 1 was you saw both guys split the game in half.
Right.
Now, Garrett Sparks made all the saves that he got, but I mean...
He looked really good in that game.
He did. And Curtis McElhinney, other than the first shot on the first goal, but that was a terrible turnover from Nazem Kadri. It's hard to blame McElhinney on that play, but after that, he didn't let a goal in, and he made some huge saves. Both goalies are great, and as we expect them to be.
Well, right now, this is the question mark going into the season. Who's going to be backing up Anderson? Is it going to be Sparks? Is it going to be McElhinney? Is it going to be Calvin Pickard? We're not sure. For right now, I think you got to go with McElhinney still. I still think, but Garrett Sparks, man, he looked great. He was steering everything away in sight. Listen, the Ottawa Senators had... I think they had more shots than the Leafs, if you want to look that up quickly.
In Game 1, they definitely had more shots.
They had pressure, and again, he looked strong. Garrett Sparks did.
The one thing about Garrett Sparks that I'm like, I still don't know if I like as an NHL goalie yet, compared to Curtis McElhinney, he's too floppy. He flops around too much. Reminds me a lot of James Reimer, who used to make a lot of desperation saves, but not because he had to. It's just because he got into that position.
Well, I mean, look at a certain Hall of Famer that flopped. Hasek.
Right,
Dominic
I'm not saying
Hasek.
Garrett Sparks is Dominic
I'm not
Hasek.
saying Dominic Hasek, but I'm saying even if you flop, again, you have to have some patience, and I don't know if Garrett Sparks really has the patience in net, but, right, and I mean, he's only 25 years of age, so he has time to learn and improve, and he only spent, 10, 15 games for the Leafs? This was 2 years ago?
Yeah,
I think maybe more than that.
It really wasn't many, but you look at the reason I like Curtis McElhinney, first off, he's a veteran backup goalie. With Sparks, he's been the starter for the AHL all last year, and now he's going to a backup situation.
High risk, high reward with Garrett Sparks.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, and with Curtis McElhinney, guys, since he's been traded over here, it's been he's been fantastic. Since Curtis McElhinney has been here, he's been fantastic.
Right.
And the way I look at him, he's a lot more sound goalie. He's positionally right.
He is.
And I think that's why I like McElhinney better than Sparks, because he's always in the right spot. And when he has to make a desperation save, he does it very. I don't know what it is about McElhinney, but he gets himself in the right position to make that desperation save instead of just flopping.
Again, both goalies look great, but I can see, I would be more comfortable with McElhinney starting the season.
I would too.
But it is close. Both goalies look great.
35-30 in shots in Game 1. The Leafs won the first period 15-11, lost the second period 9-5, and then 15-10 in the third period. And you expect that in the third period, once a team's trailing by a few goals, they want to score some goals, so they put the pressure on.
Especially when,
Other than Curtis McElhinney giving up that first goal in the first shot, he made all 12 saves, and Garrett Sparks made all 22 that he faced. Okay. So both goalies did well, but and then you look at the second game of the series, or I guess you want to call it a series, with Leafs and Sens in Ottawa. Leafs win 4-1.
Was it Ottawa? Sorry, I couldn't really tell.
Sorry, Canada, Ontario.
Couldn't tell because all the Leaf fans and attendance there. But
Calvin Pickard was coming in to relieve of Freddie Anderson, and what this tells me, the way they did this is, and it's hard to say because he was backing up Freddie, but Freddie played 2 periods. Calvin Pickard played 1.
Right, and I saw the goal that the Sens scored. I don't know what defenseman it was. I think it was actually Martin Marincin. Just kind of left him and then didn't even push him out of the crease. So I'm not blaming Calvin Pickard for the goal. Yes, he did let one in, but come on, man, you got to get that defenseman out of the crease and just push him out. He was all in tight alone.
Yeah,
right.
That's the thing with Calvin Pickard, right? I don't feel like he's going to be on this team this year.
I don't
just because of the goalie depth like crazy. I think Calvin Pickard is a guy you look to move because he's got the NHL experience. He's good enough to be a backup at least. Give the guy a chance somewhere else.
Well, you definitely have to move either,
Pickard or Sparks,
or
McElhinney. But I don't see McElhinney going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, or again, even you can put him on waivers because what's Calvin Pickard worth? A fifth? A fourth, maybe a fourth.
Yeah, right. It's not a whole
It's nothing. Lot. So I don't know.
And Freddie, so he allowed 1 goal on the 6 shots that he faced in the third period. And like you said, you already talked about the goal. So
obviously Freddie Anderson, 0 of 19 shots.
Yeah. He was sound. He was good. He did what he needed to do. And the thing for Freddie Anderson was that in the back-to-back in his first 2 seasons as a Toronto Maple Leaf, he has had horrific starts.
Octobers.
Yeah.
Right.
He has a not a career save percentage, but these 2 years, he's at a save percentage of under 900 in October. And he finishes both years with a 918 save percentage. It tells you how bad he is on Octobers, but it tells you how good he is the rest of the way.
It's funny because in preseasons, I don't think he ever struggled, which is quite odd.
Didn't he miss part of preseason in the first year because he was injured or something?
Right, he was injured. He was on, I think he was on the Denmark national team, and then somebody in practice skated into him or something. But that was in the first year. Last year, I don't know how he fared in preseason, but in October, he struggled. Now, did he struggle worse in the first year or the second? I think the first year he really, and then that's when all the fans were like, "Oh, who is this guy? Like, how can we trade a first for him or whatever?" Yeah. But then he started to get his mojo going. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's going to be it for the goaltending part of it, because that's what I really want to talk about. Obviously, the backup situation and how they did. It looks like Curtis McElhinney is going to be getting the call tonight against the Sabres.
Who's backing him up?
It's probably going to be Sparks. It's probably going to be the same rotation they had before. I don't think you can check the backup goalie for this game. It looks like it's going to be McElhinney and Ullmark starting the game, but I don't know who's. I'm assuming it's going to be Garrett Sparks, like in Game 1.
Maybe. Yeah, true, because he had a bunch of days.
Right.
Rest.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
But let's go back to Game 1, and now let's look at the D-core and kind of break this down, see what we're talking about here. So let's go through the D-core: Andreas Borgman, Travis Dermott, Justin Hall, Oziganov was the other one. Morgan Riley, Ron Hainsey, and I think that was it, actually.
Okay, so let's start off with, obviously, Borgman scoring. Great feed from, I think it was, is this Eric Clark?
No, Emerson Clark.
Emerson Clark.
I mean, he's an AHLer guy.
It was a good feed.
It was a beautiful feed. And it was a great redirection. And the reason I like this play for Borgman is because he's trying to adapt to the new NHL. And seeing what he did, he started the breakout.
Yeah.
But he just booked it right up the middle of the ice right after and got into the play and got the goal.
Which is a bit risky because he is pinching quite a bit, and Andreas Borgman isn't the fastest guy, but he countered it, and he scored in, again, a beautiful feed from, who was that?
Emerson Clark.
Emerson Clark.
Also had 10 penalty minutes in the game. So
well, he's a greaser, right?
You know what? He had a beautiful pass. He looked great out there.
Yeah.
And he had 10 penalty minutes. Come on.
So,
show me a little bit of grit.
Right.
I love it.
And now, obviously, the second goal was the John Tavares. I don't think he was even assisted.
I'm sorry. Before we talk about John Tavares, him and Mitch Marner.
Oh, it's crazy.
They each had 3 points on 4 goals. Like the team had 4, and they had.
We understand it's preseason, but we're gonna get used to this.
And you can see the chemistry is not only good on the ice, but it's off the ice too. Mitch Marner took John Tavares out for dinner yesterday for his birthday.
Happy 28th birthday, John Tavares.
And I mean, seeing the camaraderie that they've had, the big smile on Tavares' face out there with Mitch, and I mean, it just looks.
I feel like Mitch is such an easy person to be friends with, right? Like, you have that feeling when it comes to Leaf players, who's popular in the dressing room, who's kind of, maybe a bit of a whatever. I wouldn't say loner, but what's another word for what I'm thinking of?
More of a quiet player, I guess.
A quiet player, exactly. But I think Mitch, he's just a little fireball. Everyone loves him.
Yeah.
Right?
So those two were great. They were both great. They both had 7 shots combined between 2 guys.
Ottawa tied it up to make it 1-1. Yeah, they did.
They took the lead, actually, on the 21 seconds early in the game.
And that was Ryan Dzingel.
And then Leafs doing what they do best, scoring a minute and a half apart, scoring 2 goals and take the lead. That's what this team does, the quick strike offense. Going through other players here, though, I thought Travis Dermott was pretty good.
He looked, his skating really improved. The shot, it's okay. But
bringing in somebody like Haley Wickenheiser, I think, really helps your team.
Justin Hall looked really good. I like Justin Hall.
I mean, you know what? I think in my eyes, I thought Connor Kerr coming into camp had the upper hand. But the way we saw Justin Hall in that minimal games with the Leafs and his playoff performances with the Marlies, and I mean, he's only played 1 preseason game, but in that game, he was great.
See, with him, I don't think he's a smoother skater than Carrick.
But he's more of a sound player.
Exactly. And I think that's what we need, especially on the back end where we've had struggles before.
Trust me, we have enough smooth skaters. Ask Gardner and Riley. Okay. And even Dermott, for that matter. Yeah. So you don't need another guy who can skate very well.
And obviously we got Clark, who, again, I can't see him making the team, even the AHL squad, but
I can see him making the AHL team.
You sure? With all the depth in the AHL we have?
Well, I mean,
I don't think he's going to make the team, but who knows?
How old is he anyways?
He's like
25.
So there you go. Josh Levo.
This is a big camp for him. This is a huge camp for him. He had 5 shots on net, didn't score, but he had 5 shots. And like I said, huge camp for Josh Levo.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's 25 years old now, man.
Josh Levo's 25?
Yeah,
I thought he was 24.
25 years old.
Wow.
I mean, it
I
comes
remember when we drafted him.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, time flies when he's not playing, right? Zach Hyman was great as always. Connor Brown, all that stuff. What?
Igor Orjaganov? You're not going to talk about him?
You just talked about him.
That was Justin Hall.
Oh, but you said not making the AHL roster.
That was Clark. We were talking about
Emerson Clark. You know what? If he impresses, he'll make the AHL team. I can't see why not.
Okay,
I can't see why not.
Okay, so we got now.
Oziganov, I thought was really good. He looks bigger out there than I thought.
He's like a more physical Justin Hall, very sound kind of guy. Doesn't wow you, but just chips in and makes it. You know what I mean? Like
he makes the plays, and he had 3 shots on goal as well. So if you want,
I can't see him making the team out of camp, but you never know.
But it's depth.
Right.
You never have too much depth on the D-core.
Obviously, Zach Hyman being gritty as always on that first line. Love Zach Hyman. Probably one of my favorite players.
Oh, the way he plays the game. You know, it's not about the points he puts up. And he had a career year last year in points, but the way he plays the game is what we all love.
Oh.
And Connor Brown, kind of the same thing.
I didn't really see much of him. I'm not going to lie.
But he is what he is. He's Connor Brown. He's a grindy type of player. He's going to go on the PK. He's going to do that kind of stuff. There's Kadri.
Kadri with a massive hit on
he had a couple big hits in the game.
On Mark Borowicki.
But obviously had a terrible play in the first period. But I mean, it's 21 seconds into your first preseason game. Like, whatever.
And for the last, I shouldn't say for the last 3 players, but we got Grunstrom. I didn't really see much of...
No, Ron Hainsey is Ron Hainsey. You really don't see much of him at all. and Trevor Moore and Chris Mueller. So those are the other guys rounding out the line.
But I think those guys played on the fourth line, so they
yeah.
didn't really get much ice time.
Like I think Trevor Moore's going to be one of your top-notch guys in the AHL, just the way he played last year.
Maybe if he has a better preseason, he could maybe potentially make the team. Not
and
sure.
We'll get to that in a second here about who I think is really going to take that spot. Well, you know who I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
So now we're going to go to the second game, which was on Wednesday.
Thursday.
It was.
Oh, yeah, Wednesday, you're right, sorry.
And we already talked about the goaltending situation.
So the first guy that comes up, sorry to interrupt you, Tyler Ennis. You mentioned a fourth liner. I'm thinking maybe I don't want to say replacement, but a little patch up because until Willie Nee. On the first line, I get, but that first goal, one was an empty netter. That first goal,
it was a snip show. And he got the turnover. They tried the outlet pass. Nope. He steals it, spins quickly, and you know what? He didn't try anything pretty. He didn't try and get the puck. You know, he got the turnover, and usually you kind of look for somebody to pass to from there. But he turns, sees a lane, sees the goalie and him only, and just snips it bar down.
Yeah. No, beautiful. Now, smaller guy, only $160, I think.
Yeah, 5'9", 160. Not a very big guy.
5'9", 160, but guys, he's only 28 years old. But he's not like he's 32, 33.
He plays strong.
He plays like he's 21, 22. He's fast.
Yeah, he is still really quick. How old is he? 28 years old. Look at that, eh?
Yeah.
Former first-round pick of the Buffalo Sabres. Back when first-round picks at that size actually happened. 5'9", and you're drafted in the first round. You don't see it too often anymore.
Now? Now you do. I think that before
it was DeBrincat.
I think
second round pick.
I think before it was mainly big guys, right? And then they draft all big, and then they don't turn out to be good. But now it's more speedy, whatever. I don't know.
There's a lot of speed, and then like mediocre size. You look at the smaller guys out there, like 5'9".
5'9". They do get pushed around a lot,
right? And like a perfect example, Alex DeBrincat went in the second round to Chicago, and he's great. He's fantastic, and reason being, he was he won the scoring title with the Erie Otters back when junior, but he goes in the second round because he's small and he tears it up with Chicago in year one.
And now he's on pace to be maybe like a 60, 70 point player.
Yeah, he's a great player.
It's crazy.
Now Austin Matthews had a goal in this one. He was a goal and a +3, as well as that whole first line was with Ennis and Patrick Marleau. And I want to talk about that first line real quick with Patrick Marleau. I think that having Patty Marleau on that line might really groom that line into something special. Just for the reason of, you saw what happened last year, right? Yeah. With the Marner, JVR, Bozak line. They didn't start out strong, right?
They didn't, no.
But then Patty Marleau was added to Mitch Marner's line with Nazem Kadri. And look what happened.
Right, but I don't think Austin Matthews needs that veteran presence.
No, why not?
No, I'm not saying why not, but why wouldn't you put Marleau with... Again, maybe, a Kapanen or...
Well, that's down to the third and fourth line.
Or a Janssen. Well, third line, but you can argue that Patty Marleau, like last year, he was on the third line at times.
Third line. I mean, the team
okay, so then you can say third line this year as well, too, because there isn't really a third or fourth line.
Well, technically our third line last year was JVR.
There's two first lines and there's two first lines and two second lines with this team. Simple as that.
I wouldn't say our fourth line's a second line.
Okay. Well, okay. Potentially could be.
We have two first, a second, and a third line.
Right. Now, I don't know because obviously...
Because Mike Babcock was saying, like today I saw after practice, about how Patty Marleau groomed Mitch Marner and how having him on that line with Matthews and Nylander not only would help them grow offensively, but defensively as well, because we saw the improvements from Mitch Marner last year on the defensive end.
Well, Matthews said himself that he wanted to get more assists than goals. So with Patty Marleau obviously being a goal scorer, that could work out. Now, I'm not sure, because obviously Zach Hyman's going to be on that line, rather than that be first line or second line, right? So it would be Matthews, Hyman, and probably Patrick Marleau. I mean... Yeah, I can't see what's his face going to be on that second line.
No, I can't be.
Ennis.
Look, my opinion on the lines, and I said it in the last video, I think it's going to be Tavares, Marner, Hyman.
I thought Hyman was going to be on Matthews' line. You don't think so? Okay.
I don't think so.
All right, so it's going to be
the way I look at that lineup of Tavares, Marner, Hyman is obviously Tavares is more or less the goal scorer and the all-around good player.
Yeah.
Marner is the guy you give him the puck and he's a flipping wizard.
Yeah.
And Hyman is the guy that gets you the puck.
True. And I don't think we've ever seen Hyman with Mitch before.
No, I don't think we really did, but we saw it in the first game.
All right, so that's going to be the quote-unquote first line, and now the second line is going to be obviously Matthews, Marleau, and...
Nylander, when he comes back.
So if he doesn't come back, could you see Ennis?
Yeah, or for the time being.
Right, okay.
Because if Tyler Ennis continues to play like this through the rest of the preseason, I can't see why not.
Right. And then we got Jeremy Bracco, who looked, again, he's looking like a fringe...
He's definitely gotten better.
NHL player.
You know, at 21 years of age now, he's really looking to make that breakout year for this team. Yeah. Obviously, you know, played, I wouldn't say a full year with the Marlies last year because he was kind of in and out of the lineup at times. Yeah. Didn't play much in the playoffs either. But he looked great. He always had the goal on the great pass from, who was that? Adam Brooks? No. I forgot who it was that made the pass to him.
I think it was a defenseman.
See, it says unassisted, but there was a pass.
So I think the pass, and then it kind of got tipped by an Ottawa player.
Well, don't they have to have like possession of the puck to make it an unassisted goal?
Yeah, but he had possession of the puck, but like the puck, no, but like the puck got to him from a Leafs either player or defenseman or
the Leafs
whatever.
Player passed it to Bracco, but in that time it probably hit an Ottawa stick.
And then he probably had the puck for maybe 5-10 seconds.
He didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I don't know how it was unassisted. But anyway, somebody made the pass. It might have been Adam Brooks or something like that. But it was a beautiful feed. And Bracco didn't show any, anything of rushing the puck, rushing the shot, didn't rush the play or anything. He kind of just, got in there and just let it 5-hole.
Yeah.
Patience and finding a hole, and he did a great job there.
And
he's more of an assist guy, which is really interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, he can score. Look what he scored. I think he was on the Rangers when we drafted him, Kitchener.
Kitchener Rangers. I think he was initially on the. He was traded to the Kitchener Rangers. I forgot who he. No, he was in the U.S. development camp and then signed with the Kitchener Rangers.
No, he was on that, and then he went to Boston College for 6-7 games, and then he went to Kitchener.
Okay, then didn't he get moved from Kitchener to somewhere?
I don't know.
Windsor, and then they
regardless,
won the World Cup.
He's looked at more as a passer, and his passing's amazing, and maybe he can roof one a couple times.
Right. Patrick Marleau had 2 assists and was a +3.
It's Patrick Marleau.
He did what he did. I mean, Nikita Zaitsev was pretty darn good. He had 4 hits in the game, had an assist, was a +3.
Yeah.
That's what you want to see from a guy like Zaitsev, especially since that rough year last season.
And that
it's
contract.
One preseason game, I know. It's hard to get a gist of it. But.
So Brooks, Joris, and we don't know about Martin Marinson. Really, those guys, they're not looking to impress you, but Josh Joris could be maybe a dark horse to make the team.
And he could also be a depth guy once an injury comes up.
Right. Exactly.
Same with a guy like Adam Cracknell.
Now, you said someone in your video, Par Lindbom.
Lindholm?
Now, I think these were Swedish, either reporters or media, whatever. It's not Par, it's Per. No.
There's no E, it's a P-A-R.
No, it's not Par. No, Pair. Sorry, it's Pair. And I'm not making that up. It is actually, so it's Per Lindholm.
Okay. So he didn't score a goal, didn't get an assist, wasn't a plus player, he was an even player, and he had 2 shots in goal. Not a very eye-opening kind of stats.
Isn't that who he didn't assist? No, it was. I thought he maybe passed it to Bracco. I know he was on the play with Bracco.
I don't think it was. You know what? Let me. You keep talking. I have a video of the goal. I'm gonna find it here.
Okay, so with these 2 preseason games, guys, again, they're preseason. You can't go really much of it, but listen. We won 4-1 against, again, a bottom feeder team.
It was Callie Rosen who made the pass.
Oh, well, there you
go. I don't know how that's not an assist, but because I'm going to let you watch it here. There's a pass, bang, tape to tape in the back of the net. It was unassisted.
Yeah, the score must have been.
There it is, pass, whatever. And then boom. So I don't know.
Right. Right. So again, we can't really get much into these games.
No.
But the Leafs, again, it's just an appetizer, guys. And are you going to be doing for every preseason game? You're going to be doing videos?
I mean, they play tonight against Buffalo. I'll be doing a video about that tonight. But somebody that I was not impressed with. 2 guys I wasn't impressed with. Janssen and Kapanen. Didn't really see them at all.
Kapanen in the first period looked terrible.
Him and Janssen, I didn't see them at all. Janssen had 2 shots on goal. Kapanen didn't have a shot at all and had 1 hit. But I didn't really see them out there.
It's the first game.
It is, and Mike Babcock said that he needed those guys to kind of step up.
So I'm not looking too much into it.
No, it isn't. But
now moving on to more, I guess, stressful.
Sorry. The last thing, in that second game, we saw the D pairing of Sandin and Timothy Liljegren.
The Sandman.
The Sandman, as Coach Babs calls him, and Timothy Liljegren, the 2 18-year-olds playing together.
They looked good.
They looked fantastic.
That's a right and left shot.
They were very, very good.
Yeah, they were good. Now, moving on to more stressful or maybe even exciting things. No, I shouldn't say exciting. William Nylander has still not signed a contract, and it doesn't look close. Now, reports are saying from Elliot Friedman, the smirk, if you will, that he and his agent are asking for $8 million. The Leafs are giving him $6 million.
It's a big gap.
Very big gap. And now, both sides aren't moving, right? So they're staying put. What's your thought of this? Because right now, I want him back, and I think the only way that we're going to get him back is on a bridge deal.
For me, I'm kind of done with this whole trying to get him long-term thing. If it happens, great, but I want him back this year. I don't care what it takes.
It's not working for the long term because both sides are just so far apart. Give him...
The problem is, I don't know if they'll even accept a bridge deal, and that's the part where there might be an issue.
Yeah, I mean, he's an unbelievable player. We do need him on this team.
I don't care what you say about Tavares and the two lines that we see right now. It doesn't matter. No. We need William Nylander. That's it.
So for you, would you be comfortable with giving him what he wants?
Well, if you're giving him a bridge deal at $8 million...
No.
No, like a full-on 7 years...
7 years at $8 million, I'd just say. Or 6 or whatever.
It's a big risk. It's a big risk.
Because he's
getting... But the talent is there. You know what he's going to bring. He's going to be a 60, 70-point guy, which is pretty damn good if you ask me.
But for $8 million?
But for $8 million, that's a lot of money. Yeah. And if you do something like that, does that up the value of Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner?
Personally, I think what they should do at this point is get him for a bridge deal, but make it 7, maybe even 7.5.
But again, I don't like we've already heard that William Nylander and his agent do not want that.
Well, listen, if you want to sign Mitch and Matthews, you can't be giving out these.
Yeah, well, clearly it's not a matter of that for them, for his agent, and I don't know if William Nylander.
Well, no, they don't care.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm sorry, Willie, use your head. Do you want to win a cup with this team? You want to keep everybody around, right? Take a little discount.
And it's not even really a discount. I mean,
$2 million. I mean, he's asking for 8, so it's $2 million.
No, I mean, like even 6.5, I'd be okay with.
7 max.
7 to be pushing it, but I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it because of the player he is.
Right, and I think we've only scratched the surface of him.
He's about 22 years old.
21, 22.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
We can't expect this is the guy we're going to see the rest of his career.
No, there's no way. Especially with him playing with John Tavares, better Mitch Marner, Matthews, Marlowe, Kadri, Riley. It's just, but Willie, if you're listening to this, which you're probably not, but if you are, use your head, man. Take a little discount so you can stay with this great organization and win a cup.
Because not only do you want to be here as per your teammates,
we want you here.
Yeah, but we want him here.
And we need you.
We want you here as a fan. I bought your jersey, okay?
Not just speaks for itself.
I want you back, please. I didn't pay.
So let's just say that
$200 for don't even start giving me hypotheticals about him getting moved. I swear.
Okay. So that being said, if he either bridge deal or he gets moved for something we need on the back end. I'm not saying I don't want to trade him, but at this point, you kind of got to ask these questions to yourself.
No. This team needs William Nylander.
I know they do, but with him...
They will get a deal done. It's just a matter of when, and I'm scared how long it's taking. It will get done. That's what we continuously hear. They're not close, and it's already into preseason, but it will get done. We always hear this.
Yes, October 3rd is about a week and a half away.
I understand. I know. And
if
you
don't play any preseason games...
I think the reason why I'm okay with it a little bit is because, yes, if he misses a couple regular season games, it hurts a lot, but the amount of offense this team has... It can kind of like shelter William Nylander a little bit to start, and then as he kind of gets going, he'll be all right.
Shelter him on like the third line even?
Well, I wouldn't even say that. It's like you have so much goal scoring.
Shelter is him playing. If he doesn't play, you still have the depth when it comes to offense.
Exactly, but you add William Nylander, having not played preseason, having not being in training camp.
So shelter him minutes-wise.
It's going to take... Yeah, exactly.
I agree with that.
And even if you don't shelter him minutes-wise, his performance might take a hit. But you have so much other players, on your team that can put the puck in the net, that can kind of, not make his time, I guess, or inability to score not as big of a factor.
So this is interesting. Johnny Gaudreau had the same incident, and same agent, exactly. He was long time. I think he missed 3 or 4 games. He was mid-October until he got signed. So
and he had a down year.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. But do you think Kyle Dubas is regret saying we are and we will going to sign all these guys?
No, because every time somebody asks him about it, he says it the same thing. He doesn't back down from it. So I don't know.
Now, what kind of makes me angry is that contract talks with Jake Gardiner have opened up.
Well, that was a little while ago, but we heard something about that. We heard they talked about Austin Matthews, and we're thinking to ourselves, hey, Nylander's the flipping free agent here. Can we get him done first before we start talking about everybody else?
Exactly.
Like, my goodness.
I don't think...
those are reports. It's really hard to just... we've heard all kinds of other reports in any other sports that have been false and stupid. People just trying to make stuff up.
Yeah.
For a story.
I don't think a team's going to match the offer that we're going to give him. you could see it, but usually right now you don't, because what was the last matched offer? I think
Jeez, I don't even know,
Shea
man.
Weber?
Maybe, but that's a long time
Philly?
ago. I don't know, man. That's a long time ago.
Yeah, that's like, what, 2013, something like that?
I don't know, but
I don't know, but
the odds of that happening, I don't see it happening. We haven't heard any reports about that.
I don't think this is going to get done for a while.
I don't think so either. I think it'll probably go into the regular season.
I think so too.
As terrible as it sounds, it will probably happen.
Listen, as long as we get him back, it doesn't matter, but let's just get him back. It doesn't matter how long it takes, because like you said, we have the depth when it comes to
scoring and stuff.
Scoring, 100%. Listen, I could see if this was Morgan Riley. Okay. We don't really have much depth back there.
Yeah, or like an
Freddie
Austin
Anderson.
Matthews even.
Or even an Austin Matthews, exactly. But with Willie Nee, very, very helpful on this team, but
The
we
team has
can
enough
stand
scoring.
exactly for like 5 or 10 games with no injuries from all of our players.
And you saw what Janssen did on that line with who was it? Kadri last year.
In the
put
playoffs?
on the second line.
Yeah, there you go.
He can easily take the reins of Nylander for the time being.
Tyler Ennis, who can possibly, again, it's only one game he played, but he's shown in Buffalo he can
do it. Like,
He
you
can
put him
do
with
it.
players that are good, he will succeed.
He's only 28, and he has something to prove, and he wants to prove something. So there you go. Now I guess we're gonna be rolling to the Blue Jays. Or no, one
Last
more thing.
thing, guys. Game 3 of the preseason goes tonight, as we said, against Buffalo at
Yeah.
Scotiabank Arena.
Can't get used to that.
God, it's the ACC to everybody. I
But,
bet.
yeah.
But anyways, Semyon Durgachintsev, the 18-year-old the Leafs drafted in the 3rd round.
Did he play?
No, he hasn't played yet. This will be his first preseason game, and him and Rasmus Sandin are the only draft picks from this past season that'll be in training camp. And Rasmus Sandin's a 1st-round pick. That's what you expect. And this guy, Durgachintsev, just turned 18.
Yeah.
And they're giving this guy a chance in preseason. They must be very impressed with the kid.
Yeah.
And he's playing tonight on the 4th line, but that's that.
Again,
So,
I can't see him making the team.
No,
He's going to go back to the Pete's.
yeah, he'll be probably going back to the
So,
Pete's this
that's
year.
very
but,
interesting,
But
though.
getting him in there for a couple preseason games would really, really help him.
I
And he's
agree
only
with that.
18 years old.
So there you go.
Again, smaller guy, drafted in the 3rd round.
But
Could be a lot of talent. Youngest guy in the draft.
exactly. Small, speedy,
Yeah.
and quick.
Kind of like a Tyler Ennis, in a sense.
Hopefully you're not comparing him to Tyler.
Well,
you know what?
Buffalo Tyler Ennis, maybe.
There you go.
40-point guy, 50-point guy.
Awesome.
But, I mean, it's hard to get it just in that kid now. Yeah. But, yeah, like you said, we're going to move on to the Blue Jays now. And, man,
Interesting last night, eh?
my goodness. I mean, you look at the way this team has played. I mean, they take 2 of 3 against the Yankees, which no one is... Like, after going into that series against the Yankees, you get swept by the
Yeah,
Red Sox,
I
and
was
then you
gonna
lose
say.
game 1 of that series. You lost 4 straight, and you're like, this is just a complete joke. But then the youngsters take the ball. And Sean Reid-Foley throws 5 shutout innings, strikes out 10 Yankees. Was great. Gets the victory. Thomas Pannone goes out there in the next game, gives up 2 in the 1st inning, but then goes 6 shutout innings the rest of the game. The Jays win that game. And then in the game 1 against the Baltimore Orioles, Ryan Bruckey goes 8 shutout innings.
And against, very good hitting team.
In the Yankees.
Yankees.
Absolutely. Good team, period, right?
Right, with pitch. The pitching's a bit kind of...
It's all right. It's not bad, though. It's
not
not
bad
It's
as
not
of
terrible.
late.
I mean, CeCe Sabathia had a great year.
How's Rowdy doing, Rowdy Tellez?
Oh, he's a stud. I mean, last night he went 2 for
Yeah.
2 for 4 with the 3 RBIs, had a 2-run home run and all that stuff.
So we're in game 152, is it now?
Yesterday was 153.
153.
We're almost there, people. We have under 10. Well, I think it's like 10 games remaining. We're almost there. A week and a half. Well, okay, let's put. So I'm not looking at the amount of games left.
No.
I'm looking at, okay, we have 3 more against the Rays, 3 against the Astros.
All 3 more against the Rays. It was a 4-game.
Yeah, it's 4-game set. 3 against the Rays, 3 against the Astros, and then 3 more in the best place in baseball.
Tropicana Field.
There you go, to end the season.
Oh, shit.
So I guess there's only 9 games left. Yeah. We're almost there. That's the way I'm looking at it. I'm not looking at how many games left, because that
we have 3 more. Well, technically we have 2 more series, but not including this one.
right. Not
So we
including
got
this one.
Houston and then Tampa Bay.
Houston at home and then Tampa on the road to end the year.
So obviously the season is not done yet, but if you can sum up the Jays season in one word, what would it be? One word.
Inconsistent. A perfect example is this last 6-game stretch. Or whatever. I think it's a
you
6-game
don't know what
stretch.
ball club you're going to get. Listen, you get swept by the Red Sox. We understand that.
And then you play the Yankees and you lose game 1 terribly. But then in your next 3, you throw out young guys.
Yeah.
And over those 3 games, 2 runs are given up. And they're in the 1st inning against Thomas Pannone. That's it. And your team, and those 3 games, all victories.
Yeah, like you say, it's right now the Jays are going through a rebuild, obviously. So you're seeing the young guys from the rebuild move up. So we're in the middle of a rebuild, Jays fans. Next season, it's going to be probably more the same, a little more hope, but still the same.
Oh, I think so. But obviously, with Vladdy Jr. On the roster next year, the team is going to look much different.
Right.
But you look at some of the young guys this year, and we're going to run through them real quick here. Ryan Borucki, guys, has been stellar. We know that, and he's almost solidified himself a spot next year in the rotation.
Well, he deserves it.
His 8 shutout innings against the Orioles, ERA down to 3.86, which is fantastic.
Yeah. No, he's a righty.
He's a lefty, and he's only 24 years old.
Geez, okay.
I mean, he's fantastic
He's a stud,
out there,
like you said.
I think Marco Estrada's time with the Jays has come and gone. But the funny thing is about the Blue Jays, guys, the 2 games against the Orioles, they rocked the ball and they won both games.
But look who you're.
But then you get Marco Estrada, who has been terrible all year, and he goes 6 innings and he gives up 1 run. But the problem is the Jays don't get anything, and they only have 4 total hits and they lose the game 2-1.
Look who you're facing. Come on.
But you got to get more offense than 1 run against the Baltimore Orioles.
No, you do, but I can't see him coming back at all.
Marco, no, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying he's not getting any help either.
I don't even know if any team's going to take a chance on him.
Ken Giles continues to be a stud. He has now converted 11 straight saves as a J. He has not blown 1.
No, he's a free agent next year, right?
No, he's not.
This year?
Nope.
No?
He still has 2 years of eligibility. So I mean, you still have time to figure him out. His ERA now is lower as a Blue Jay than it was as an Astro,
which isn't saying much because he struggled.
Right. But how
still.
bad he started his tenure with the Jays, it's been a very, very interesting turnaround. A guy like Tim Meza, lefty, 26 years old, but he has proved to me that this guy is MLB ready. He came into September with like a 5.5, 6 ERA. He's dropped it down to 3.48 now. He's been unbelievable.
So he was in AAA?
Yeah.
Or AA?
Triple.
Okay.
I mean, look at his earned runs. I mean, he has not given up anything since, well, in September he hasn't given up anything, but I know in August he didn't give up a lot either. He has been great.
Yeah.
And anytime a pitcher has a strikeout per game, or a strikeout per inning, you look at it and go, whoa, that's a pretty good number. Yeah. So in 33 innings, he has, where is it here? 38 strikeouts. It's over a strikeout an inning. He's very good.
For a guy that's not looked at as big, again, small sample size.
I think with Aaron Loop now gone out of the Jays bullpen as a lefty, I think Tim Meza is going to get the spot next year.
So right now it's Meza, Giles in the bullpen. Who else do we have?
Well, I mean, the bullpen's big right now because of the September call-ups.
But like the main guys.
Danny Barnes, Joe Biagini, Tyler Clippard, Jose Fernandez, the lefty, who had a rough time last game, but overall has been very, very
Fernandez
solid.
Resurrected.
Right? I mean, yeah, it's very different case, though. Then Taylor Guerreri, and Mark Leiter Jr., 2 guys I don't see making the team next year at all. That's just September call-ups. Mm-hmm. David Paulino, one of the guys in the Osuna trade.
Oh, my God.
24 years old. He's been, I mean...
That's quite the picture.
2.45 ERA. He's barely wearing the hat. 2.45 ERA in his 3 2/3 innings. He's been good. Jake Petrichka, I don't like him, period. Justin Schaefer, again, another guy from AAA that I don't really see going anywhere next year.
Well, I just said the main bullpen guys. You don't have to go through all of them.
Well, we did it quickly. I mean, and Ryan Tepera.
Right. So, oh, God. Now, he can throw right or left, right? Is he? No.
Ryan Tepera is just a righty.
Oh, he's just a righty. Who's the guy on the Jays that can throw right?
Who was he again? His name? It was last year.
I thought it was Ryan Tepera.
No.
No, wasn't it Ryan Tepera?
No. It was last year they got the Ambidextrous pitcher. I forgot what his name was.
From Oakland.
Yeah, I forgot what his name was. But he wasn't really any good.
No,
couldn't throw hard either side and got crushed.
Sorry, I thought that was Ryan Tepera.
But just what you've seen from the young guys out of the bullpen, and they've done a very, very good job.
They've looked good.
And obviously Danny Jansen with a big 3-run shot yesterday.
Oh yeah,
big job there. He's got 3 home runs in his 25 games in the big leagues
as a rookie.
6 doubles. He scored 11 runs, 8 RBIs.
Yeah,
walked 7 times.
Yeah,
he's been really good. He's been very, very good. And where's the man? There's Lourdes Gurriel Jr., guys. And, I mean, since coming off the disabled list, we talked about having him not having a good stretch.
Right.
But lately, he's been fantastic. I mean, obviously, went 1 for 5 yesterday with the home run. But, I mean, Lourdes Gurriel is going to be on this team next year. There's no question about that.
Of course.
It's just a matter of where he's going to play. Will he play shortstop? Well, if Troy Tulowitzki's healthy, we don't know what the heck's going to happen there. But
I mean, if he is healthy, you could make the argument why even play him.
Well, then if that's the case, then yeah, I don't know.
Right, no, but like you know what I'm talking about, though,
right?
$25
million just sitting at home.
But I mean, would you rather have a nice guy and like a youngster
Yeah.
Or would you rather somebody who's, I wouldn't say he's washed up. Well,
He pretty much is. He hasn't played at that point.
We
next
haven't
year,
say if he's washed up because if he's not playing, we really don't know what he can do.
I get it, but if he doesn't play till June next year, that means he hasn't played in 2 years.
Oh, he's out or no?
I don't know what'll happen next year. I don't know if he's going to be ready for spring training or not.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know what we're going to see with Troy Tulowitzki. And a guy like Brandon Drury, one of the pieces in the Jay Happ trade.
Still injured, right?
Yeah. He won't be back this year, but he is showing signs of getting better health-wise. Not a great average this year, but he's been hurt and he has had inconsistent playing time. So
how come he has the Arizona Diamondbacks thing on?
Well, because that's where he played before the Yankees.
Oh, okay.
But he's only 25 years old.
Right, so he's still promising.
Right, and Lourdes Gurriel, I think he's 25 or 24. 24 years old. So
bottom line is, I'm glad what the Jays did trading these players that weren't going to come back for something.
You had to. Yeah. You absolutely had to do that. And there's some players they didn't move, Tyler Clippard, but I mean... You can't
move them all.
Exactly.
You
exactly.
can't move them all.
Rowdy Tellez, guys, I mean, obviously with a big 2-for-4 ball game yesterday.
The big man.
He's only hitting .385 with 15 hits in 14 games, couple home runs, 8 doubles, 7 RBIs, 7 runs scored, 9 RBIs, and he only walked the one time, but he has been great. And his defense is very good, too. Anybody else here that's jumping out at me? Billy McKinney's been very good. I mean, just some of the young guys we've seen have been great.
So, obviously, we have... What is it? 10 games left? 9 games left? Actually, no, it's 9.
9. Yeah, with 3 against Rays, 3 against the Astros,
3, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this season, what a ride it's been. Are you going to be watching postseason baseball?
I'll try. I mean, with the Leafs and Raptors both going on, it might be a little tricky, but I'll try and catch them for sure. I'm going to sneeze.
No problem. Bless you.
Oh, not yet.
No. Yeah, just don't sneeze all over my anything. Guys, did you hear that? Jesus.
Probably.
Snot all over the place.
Yeah. I'll clean it up after.
No, you clean up now. Right. So, I guess we're gonna move on to the Raptors because I mean, with the Jays, you can't really say much. That the young guys. Do you want to mention about the single A team, the Fisher Cats?
No, the double A team.
Double A team.
The New Hampshire Fisher Cats. I don't know if we mentioned it in the last podcast. If we did, I apologize. But if not, the New Hampshire Fisher Cats are Eastern League champions, and that is a very interesting one because a lot of the players down in New Hampshire have been brought up from Dunedin, and Dunedin won the championship last year. So it's very interesting to see that same team. And the really interesting thing I talk about is John Gibbons' future with the Jays. We don't really know what's going to be
It's in question.
right?
It's in question.
And we're pretty sure it's done. Right. He's already come out and said he doesn't know if he wants to be part of a rebuild. Yeah. And with the new kind of MLB and the way it's a lot of analytics, he's not a very analytical type of guy.
No, he's not.
So we don't really know if that's going to be the case. And if he's gone, who takes his reins? In my eyes, it should be the manager of the New Hampshire Fisher Cats.
Didn't you say he could be like a former player? Vernon
it
Wells.
It could be a former player, but the way I look at it, I'm looking at it as an in-house type of name. I look at a guy in the Double A. I think his name is Snyder. I think his name is his last name.
That's
Dan
what
Snyder.
we said about the Raptors. Again, two completely different, basketball when it comes to baseball.
Right, but I look at this guy like Don Schneider. I think it's Dan Schneider. Something along those lines. He was the coach of Dunedin last year when they won the championship, and he was the coach this yeur in New Hampshire and won the championship.
Sounds pretty familiar.
Those guys know him. They're familiar with him, like you just said. Why not give him a chance?
Same thing with kind of Stackhouse. Won the championship with the Raptors 905.
Yep.
Obviously didn't get the call up. Nick Nurse did, but we kind of expect...
We don't see a Nick Nurse in the Jays organization with the big league club right now that can take over as manager. We don't see that.
No.
So... I think a guy like him,
interesting.
you really look at. I mean, there's probably some other guys.
And that's just a new chapter in the Jays book, guys. That, flip the page. John Gibbons, farewell to you. Thank you for being here for what? Since 2013?
Something along those lines. I think, with a big trade. So, it was 2013.
So, there you go.
And obviously going through those 2 amazing years that we had. But it's time. It's a new chapter, like for the Leafs. They had to make that adjustment at some point.
Yeah. They did. So, again, I guess we're going to be rolling it onto the basketball court.
Yeah.
And first off, quickly, before we get into the whole thing, Jimmy Butler's name was brought up. Do you want to start with that?
Yeah, we'll start with that. That's the biggest news, probably.
So, obviously, the T-Wolves, he's not happy with being with Minnesota.
Right.
He openly said that he wants to be traded from Minnesota.
And the crazy thing is... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Thank you. So, and then you have Andrew Wiggins' brother, Nick Wiggins, hallelujah, with a heart and a happy face emoji. That's saying right there, listen, I could see... I don't even like you tweeting that whatsoever. I could see if Jimmy Butler was already traded and then you said it. Buddy, he hasn't even been traded yet.
And if he doesn't,
that locker room is going to be toxic. toxic.
And apparently it already is with Karl Anthony Towns. That's what they're saying about Jimmy Butler.
Right.
But I don't know if that's true or not. But you never know.
Right. So his 3 potential trade teams was going to be the Brooklyn Nets, the Knicks, and the Clippers. What do all those 3 teams have in common? A crap ton of cap room.
Yeah.
They're right. Yeah, I know. Like you kind of wanted to get it in there, but I had to say it. So, what of the 3 teams? Obviously, the Raptors were kind of involved, but I don't think he's coming to the Raptors. What do you think is going to happen with Jimmy Butler, in your opinion? Is he going to stay with the team? Because the Wolves, it sounds like they're not even going to trade him.
Well, the funny thing is, he's not a younger guy anymore. He's 29 years old.
He's like DeMar DeRozan.
Exactly. And
Actually,
you're getting traded to a team that's young, and, I mean, you go to the Knicks, they do have a nice young core, but they haven't proved anything yet. They've proved they've got some young talent, but they've never proved to be a playoff team yet, especially in the Eastern Conference, which is
Well, look what the Spurs did. I would argue that the Spurs are worse off than
they have a DeMar
Knicks.
DeRozan who's proved himself. They have a LaMarcus Aldridge
Right, but
who's proved himself.
if you add Jimmy Butler to the Knicks,
okay, let me put something else at you. They have Greg Popovich. The Knicks do not.
no, they don't. But this could be Pop's last year. He's not willing to go on a rebuild. But I'm just talking about talent on the roster. I think the Knicks have more talent. Let's just say that Jimmy Butler is on the Knicks. I think they're a better team than the Spurs. I think so. I think Porzingis is better than Aldridge. I think DeMar DeRozan with Jimmy Butler, they both kind of equal each other out in my opinion, right? Point guards, who do they have? The Spurs. Patty Mills?
Yeah, and DeJounte Murray.
I mean, and then you could see Kyrie Irving to the Knicks.
Okay.
That's been...
Let's get off that garbage. I'm so sick and tired of hearing NBA fans and players and all that stuff saying, oh, you know what, the Knicks are going to go after Jimmy Butler. They're going to go after Kyrie Irving.
Well, the only problem we're talking about that...
Then we hearing, okay, like, listen to this real quick. Because we heard last year, LeBron's going to L.A., Paul George is going to go to L.A., Kawhi's going to L.A., oh, it's going to be amazing, and all this stuff. Yeah, LeBron went there. But Paul George went back to OKC, and now we're hearing the Lakers are Kawhi's number 3 team.
But who? No, okay. But who is reporting these things? Because it was Woj. Woj said that you could see Butler go to the Knicks. He reported on the Kyrie Irving thing.
You could. These are coulds. Well, Paul George could have gone to the Lakers, but did not. Kawhi Leonard could go to the Lakers. Might not.
Well, anything can happen, but the thing is that we're talking about it because Woj said it, and he said could, possibility, whatever. But as fans, we like talking about it. Not saying it's going to happen, but, whatever. So, with the 3 teams he potentially wants to go to, all of them have cap room.
That's the funny thing. Does he want to win? He's 29 years old. Yeah. You want to go to a team and win.
He wants money.
That's the problem. That is the problem.
Well, it's not.
You're not going to go to a place, get a lot of money, and still win as a player like Jimmy Butler.
No, but it's not a problem for him. He wants to get paid.
But he doesn't want to win then. That's basically what I'm hearing.
Well,
no, look, the Knicks, the Nets, the Clippers are not going to be winning over the next 2 to 3 years. They're not going to be winning significant stuff.
Okay, well, the T-Wolves aren't even.
But they have a young core that they're actually building around.
But it doesn't matter. If they can't win, the T-Wolves are not going to win.
I agree. But why are you naming those 3 teams as your primary destinations? Why aren't the Raptors a destination you want to go? They just acquired Kawhi Leonard. They're battling atop of the Eastern Conference.
Because it's with cap room. Listen, if the Raptors unload on Serge, then we'll be talking. I don't think the T-Wolves want Serge. That's the only possible scenario I can see, with this player coming to the Raptors, Jimmy Butler. That's the only reason I could see it happening. If we get rid of Serge... Listen, the T-Wolves aren't winning. They may win a playoff series. Good for them. They're not getting past the second round. I don't think they are, honestly.
Are the Knicks, the Nets, or the Clippers going to be doing that anytime soon?
No, they're not.
There you go.
No team is going to win from this. The T-Wolves, the Knicks, the Clippers, and
right,
the
so
Nets.
then why are you picking one of these teams to go to if you're just not going to win? You want to make money.
No, he does, but maybe to a weaker Eastern Conference. And listen, Jimmy Butler deserves the money. He's an unbelievable player, right?
Right, of course he is.
And money is more important than winning.
Clearly.
Look at DeMarcus Cousins. Winning was more important than money. He signed a
1-year, $5 million deal with the
there you go.
flipping Golden State Warriors.
Right, so players have different priorities.
Yeah.
So, and obviously Jimmy Butler
It's all about
to
money.
get paid.
It's all about money for him. That's what it looks like. Because you have an opportunity to get traded to a contending team, but instead you're like, nah, I'll go to these teams because they can pay me in the summertime.
Well, we couldn't even pay him what he would even half would want if he comes
Come
to the
here,
Raptors.
have a chance to win, then leave and go get paid. Don't get traded to a team who sucks.
Yeah, might win. Listen, the difference
Would you rather a might or not win and then waste another career? And then waste another year of your career?
No, that's true. I get it. But for him, he wants to make the money. And who knows? I'm not saying the Knicks are going to make the playoffs, but you don't know. Listen, if you throw in Jimmy Butler into that conversation with a healthy Porzingis, Kevin Knox looks great during the summer league.
Yeah, it's summer league, though. It's hard to get a gist on.
No, true. It is. But you could see the Knicks possibly, because who was in the 8th spot last year? That was not the T-Wolves, wasn't it?
Well, you're talking about two different conferences now.
Western Conference last year playoffs.
I'm not talking about look, if he's with the T-Wolves, it doesn't matter anymore because then all the trade talks go away.
But
we're talking maybe he gets traded to the Knicks or the Nets, okay? You have Boston in the East. You have the Raptors in the East. You have Philly in the East. Those are your top 3 teams, right?
Agreed.
Okay. Cleveland, are they a playoff team? I think they're still probably like an 8 seed or something.
I don't know.
You still got Kevin Love. You still have JR. You still have some good young players.
I don't think they're making the playoffs.
Well, it's going to be very interesting. Detroit, obviously, with a full year of Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
You have Indiana and Milwaukee. Those are 2 more teams. Those are 5 of the 8 right there with the Raptors, Philly, Celtics, Indiana, and Milwaukee.
Well, who's going to fall out of the playoff spot? Personally, I think it's going to be the Cavs who fall out.
I'm just trying to name the teams that are going to make the playoffs, and then how many spots are left, and will the Knicks be able to fill, or will the Knicks or the Nets be able to fill one of those holes?
Okay, so there's 2 spots left?
Right. And then you have the Wizards, who are probably going to make the playoffs, especially with the addition of Dwight Howard.
I agree.
Right? And then you have Detroit and Cleveland, who are possible teams that could make the playoffs.
Listen, you can argue right now if the Knicks, they can potentially be above the Pistons. I think they're going to be above the Cavs, right? So, and even a team like the Brooklyn Nets, like you said, I get they're still on that rebuild. They don't have their first, but they're looking like a team that could make a little noise. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but
No, they didn't really make any additions, and they lost Brook Lopez at some point.
Personally,
years ago anyways.
I think the Knicks with Jimmy Butler can definitely make the playoffs 100%. Without, I still think they can squeeze into the 8th seed.
I mean, and the question always arises with every team: health. Porzingis has never been healthy.
No.
A lot of this team has not been healthy. Tim Hardaway Jr. missed a lot of time last year due to injury. It's a big part of that team.
No, it is.
Right? Can Mudiay and Ntilikina be any good? I mean, they've shown that they can be all right. But are they really worth where they were drafted?
Young.
They were drafted 7th overall.
22 years of age.
Yeah, no, I know.
20 years of age.
7th and 8th overall. Right.
It takes a while.
We're talking about making the playoffs this year.
Right. But with these players, how many points did he average last year?
It doesn't tell me. It doesn't tell me here.
Okay.
They maybe 12 points a game maximum was Mudiay, and I don't think Ntilikina averaged over 10.
Again, you can argue about Blake Griffin. He's never really been healthy with the Pistons, or even the Clippers for that matter.
No, but what he's going to give you, he's going to give you over 20 a game. He's going to be a big beast, and he's going to do everything he can with a healthy Reggie Jackson. I mean, that guy is something special when he is healthy, which is obviously the big question. Yeah. Andre Drummond is the freak, and they really don't have anything else. Is it a possibility they can make the playoffs? It maybe squeeze into the 8th seed. But remember, Cleveland does still have, Jordan Clarkson. They still have George Hill, the Rodney Hood, Kyle Korver. They got Colin Sexton in the draft. J.R. Smith. So I'm trying to find other names here. Kevin Love, Larry Nance Jr.,
you have to realize
Tristan
that these players did not really gel when they got together. I get it was half a season with them, but...
Well, that was with LeBron, too. Now he's gone. It's a new regime. It's going to be totally different for Cleveland.
Right, it is, but I can see them falling out because Kevin Love is not the Kevin Love like he was 3-4 years ago.
No, especially with the Timberwolves.
J.R. Smith is not like what he was 3-4 years ago.
No,
right?
Of course not.
So you're banking on Jordan Clarkson, who is an extremely streaky shooter. You have Larry Nance Jr., who can pot in, maybe 12, 13 points a game, whatever, that's fine. Colin Sexton, I mean, he's a rookie.
So is Kevin Knox.
But Kevin Knox, I would imagine, would be more potent than Colin Sexton.
It's hard to tell right now. They've never played an NBA game before.
But I'm just basing it off the Summer League. I get it, Summer League, but...
You can't really base off somebody off of Summer League. It's really tough to do so.
No, it is tough, but you have to base it off something. If not basing it off anything,
No, you go off of their very good players. Now let's see it in a real NBA game. Then you show us what you can really do. Like, right now I'm hearing Pascal Siakam looks great. You know, we've heard great quotes from Harden and Chris Paul and guys like that out in LA that he looks amazing out there. That's great. I want to see it on the court.
Yeah,
before I start judging on who's a better player when it comes to Sexton and Kevin Knox, yeah, they had great summer. They both had great summer leagues, but I want to see them in an NBA format first.
No, I get it, but as rookies, this is the only thing you can base it off of.
Yeah, I agree.
If you don't want to base it off this, then what do you base it off of? College numbers? That's even worse than summer league.
You can't say that he's better than this guy because of the summer league.
No, but right now, that's what we're comparing to, and he is.
How about we go? They're both rookies. Bang. Leave it at that. They cancel each other out for now.
Right,
and then if we see them in the regular season, Kevin Knox is a million times better than Sexton, fine. Then they have the advantage.
But it's going to be definitely a dogfight for the 8th, 7th, and maybe even 6th seed.
But then you go into the 8th spot with the Knicks, and you're just going to get slaughtered.
You don't know that.
You kind of do with healthy Celtics and with the Raptors being healthy.
Healthy, that's the thing, the health. Listen, the matchups, I could see if, like the playoffs were tomorrow. Everybody's healthy on the Celtics, no injuries, and the Knicks are facing them. Okay, it looks like it's going to be a sweeper, or the Knicks are going to win one game. We don't know Gordon Hayward, the status of him. Yes, he's healthy. We don't know if, you know what I mean? If the leg can hold up. Kyrie Irving, I don't know if he's really happy in Boston. We don't know these things.
What's his face? Kristaps Porzingis had a season-ending injury last year.
Exactly.
He might not come back the same. And if he doesn't, that team's not going anywhere.
Okay, no. Right, so exactly.
It's all about health.
So we can't say that, this team's going to get slaughtered if they face.
If both teams are healthy, we know what's going to happen.
If both teams are healthy, but we don't know what the health issue. Because on both teams, there are players, like you said, Porzingis and Gordon Hayward, who's had injury troubles in the past. So, sure.
Without Gordon Hayward, the Celtics still made it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
No, they did. But without Gordon Hayward and they're facing a healthy Knicks team, I'm not sleeping on the Knicks. I'm sorry. I'm not. But do you want to move on, I guess, to the Kawhi Leonard Media Day, which was pushed back a little bit?
Well, his press conference was supposed to be, him and Danny Green's press conference was supposed to be on the 21st.
Why did they push it back?
I don't know. Oh. I'm not too sure why it was
maybe they needed the room or something.
Media Day is on the 23rd. I think training camp starts on the 23rd or 24th or something like that.
It's coming up. So then
and
that's
the
when
preseason game is on the 29th.
So I guess that's when they're going to be taking all of the mean face pictures with the basketball and all that. We're excited Raptors fans. The first preseason game, like you said, is on the 23rd versus who?
29th.
29th.
Against... I actually don't even know who it's against.
I think it's against the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah?
I think. I'll check it. I'm pretty sure.
No, Portland.
Oh, Portland.
Portland at home at Rogers Arena in Vancouver, BC.
Oh, that's going to be cool.
So it's going to be there going around the Canadian tours there. Something I wanted to talk about, though. And I don't know why I was thinking this yesterday. I was thinking to myself, you know what? I feel like these Leafs and Raptors years are probably the most anticipated seasons in our lives, like you and me.
Anticipated as in
we're jacked up to go with it. There's expectations that we're ready to get this thing into.
More Raptors, because the Raptors door I think is closing a little
I don't know.
fast.
See, I would say more Leafs because you have Golden State on the other side and the odds of you winning a championship with the Raptors, even though you have Kawhi Leonard.
Right. Well, that's why I'm saying with the Raptors and the Leafs, again, we're both really excited, but with the Raptors, like you say, Golden State still there. You have these super teams in the door with Kawhi Leonard. We're not sure about the future with him. Closing a little bit, but both excited. I do agree with you there, 100%. Leafs, Raptors all day, and we are both excited.
And it's so great to have these seasons going. Very soon, though, in about T-minus 8 days, the Raptors kick off their first preseason game, and the Leafs.
T-minus 7 hours, or no? Well,
what time is it?
It's 2:00 now.
So T-minus 5 hours, 5.5 hours.
There you go.
Leafs preseason game 3 against the Sabres gets underway at Scotiabank Arena. Yeah. So now we're going to go on to the questions. And first off, guys, before we go into that, I want to say thank you to everybody who joined the Fantasy League. We really do appreciate all that. And a
little stressful because we didn't know about the whole, about the draft thing. They said something about it didn't start on time or whatever.
But it worked out all right.
Now, for basketball, we wanted to do basketball.
Yeah, we do want to do basketball. I don't know when we're going to get a chance to do that. We'll talk about it and we'll let them know.
Well, we kind of have started. Well, not really before preseason. Before the first game for the Raptors.
Right, which is in October. I think it's like mid-October. So we have time to figure that out.
Yeah, but guys, thank you very much. And again, best team win. And let's start making some trades, guys. Come on. Let's start making some trades.
You don't need to. You drafted the team. Maybe you want to wait.
That's you. What about anybody else?
Well, if they want to make trades, they can offer up trades all they want. But for me,
I need more goal scoring on my team.
You're trying to trade Ryan O'Reilly for Brock Besser for me. So, I mean, I don't really want to do it.
What'd you text me yesterday?
I asked you, Ryan O'Reilly, Max Pacioretty.
And I'm like, Ryan O'Reilly for Brock Besser straight up. You're like, think about it. And then you're like,
think about it, because then I'm like, yeah, no, Brock Besser's going to have another great year, so no thanks.
He could get injured. Only played about 60 games last year.
Why do you want him?
Well, why do you want him?
Because I know he can score goals, and I'm taking that risk that he can
Well,
get
this
injured.
is the same guy who drafted Jaden Schwartz, so, hey, you know what? James Price can do, you know, you do what you do. You do what you do.
Well, you want my player, so I must have drafted pretty good.
Yeah.
Good try. Yeah. So now let's go to the podcast questions, you numbnut.
Yeah.
Let's get this going here.
Jeez, I haven't heard that word in a while.
Yeah, well, it's been quite a while for it, but I thought I'd fire it in the podcast.
Oh, really? Hopefully my Twitter doesn't crash this time.
Yeah, not like last time where I had to look it up.
It's about time you did something. All right.
Geez, very aggressive in the podcast.
Yeah.
Right now. My goodness.
That's what I'm talking about. All right. So we got Evan Stack.
Some of the questions were really good.
The
I read
Jays
some of them.
end up without Smoke and K Money this season, and Hernandez outfield woes continue. Do you see Jays moving Teoscar to DH? Teoscar? Yeah,
Teoscar.
Hernandez opens up an extra outfield spot since it's already so deep.
I actually never thought of that, Evan. But yeah, I can definitely see that happening. I think I don't see the Jays trying to move Smoke. I thought about it. I said in the last podcast that I thought they might think of getting rid of Smokey, but then I thought to myself, you know what? Wouldn't hurt to like platoon Rowdy Tellez and Justin Smoke, and then Rowdy can learn from one of the best defensive first basemen out there. But if they do move both guys, like Morales and Smoke, and let Tellez do that, I think and if the woes continue in the outfield for Teoscar, I think that would be a great idea, putting him as DH. But, I mean, you never know what can happen, right?
Exactly. All right, so we got the King of Rage, Roderick B., our man. What players do you think will make the final roster for the Leafs? First line, we got Tavares, Mitch, and Hyman.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Okay, that's fine. And then we have second line, Marlowe, Matthews, and Nylander. Let's just say Nylander.
Okay, you want to do it without?
No. We'll just put him there for now because
Matthews, Marlowe, Nylander.
Yeah.
Okay.
Third line, Kadri, Connor Brown, because I don't think Connor Brown's gonna be on the fourth line. So Kadri, Connor Brown, and
Johnson.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Janssen, and then we got Pear, Lindbaum. Who else? Tyler Ennis, and we got Kapanen. That's our and then
that's your forward core. And for the D core, we probably go. I don't know if it's going to be the exact pairings, but I think a guy like Riley Hainsey. I don't know if it's going to be a number one or what. That's one. I think Jake Gardner and
Zaitsev.
Yes, Nikita Zaitsev, and then the third pairing you definitely got Travis Dermott and either Justin Hall or Connor Carrick. I think you worry about that, right? I think that's going to be your D pairing. And then for goalies, we've already talked about it as Anderson and McElhaney. As of right now, are my starting two guys. Could things change if McElhaney is a terrible rest of the preseason and Sparks is great? Possibly, but I can't see that happening.
Right. Okay. So we answer all the podcast questions. So favorite NFL, CFL, La Liga, Premier League, and curling teams.
Okay. So NFL, Giants,
Saints.
CFL, I guess we'll go the Argos.
Argos, we don't watch CFL, though. La Liga, I'm guessing that's soccer.
It is, but I don't know which league. I mean, is that Barcelona and stuff? And Real Madrid, maybe? La Liga? If it is, then I guess, I think Barcelona has...
I guess Real Madrid for me.
Okay, well, there you go, dude.
So Premier League,
my dad's a Chelsea fan, so I guess I'll go with that.
Manchester.
Which one?
United.
There you go, okay.
And then we got curling teams. I like Team Canada.
I mean, so do I, but I mean... Okay.
Well, no, I guess what province? Well, I guess Ontario.
I guess Ontario, yeah.
Or maybe Yukon.
Yeah, get the Yukon curling team, the Nunavut curling team out there.
Good.
That's
who should the Jays re-sign or let go? That's actually a good question.
Well, let me go look up the free agents coming up here for the Blue Jays then.
So you're going to do that quickly. Quickly. Who won the Raptors Spurs trade? I actually tweeted this, but that's cool. Since the season hasn't started yet, but we don't know who really won it as of now. Listen, if Kawhi Leonard re-signs with the Raptors, we won it. Or if we win a championship with Kawhi. If we don't win a championship or we lose Kawhi, I'm not going to say if we don't win a championship. Listen, if we don't win a championship yet he resigns, we still win it. If he doesn't resign, we lost the trade. So we don't know now. So answer your question with there. So what Jays free agents do we got?
Hold on, I'm trying to find this up here. Trying to find the right one that I can see actual contracts on because it's really.
You know what? Do you think that maybe that should be for another podcast?
Maybe that's more of
fine.
It's more of an off-season type of thing.
Off-season type of thing because then we have free agents and whatnot. That is cool. Are you worried that Leonard and Lowry haven't reported a training camp just days before it starts? This is Reid-Foley.
No,
I'm not going to look too much into it.
No, you can't. I mean, has Kawhi Leonard taken has he said anything with the Toronto Raptors media? No, he hasn't. Oh God, should we be worried about that? Just relax, all right. Let's let it take its course for now and kind of see how it goes.
This is actually a good question, and I completely during the hockey segment. Are you guys going to watch October baseball? I asked you this. You said you might. I probably will if it's on. What teams are you excited for? Maybe the Oakland Athletics. Well, you don't have to.
I mean, with Oakland, I would love to see them do well. But taking on the Yankees in New York in the wild card game might be quite tricky.
That's set.
It's those two are pretty much set. It's just a matter of where they're going to play.
Okay.
It's only a 1.5 game difference between those two teams, but 6.5 at back is the Tampa Bay Rays with 10 games left.
Yeah.
And that's really about it there. And all the other divisional teams, I can't see Oakland catching Houston. They're like 4 back. I don't see it happening there. But what team am I looking to do well? I mean,
this is my question towards you.
I'd love to see the Milwaukee Brewers do well. I'd love
really?
I mean, you know what? That team built themselves throughout the offseason. They had a great year last year, but didn't get it done last year. I would love to see Milwaukee and Oakland do a good job, both wild card teams.
Oakland, yeah.
But it's going to be tough to say. I mean, I don't really know because it's so tight. I mean, Milwaukee's only 3 out of a first wild card spot, but they're looking good.
Okay. So also your thoughts on Max Domi punching some guy for basically no reason. That guy would have to Aaron Ekblad, which I completely forgot to talk about. Excuse me. That didn't want to be involved. Now he was suspended for the rest preseason. I think that's fine.
I don't think so.
You think he should have been suspended a regular season game?
I think 2 or 3.
It was a sucker punch.
Look, it wasn't even just the one punch because it's not like it was just in the heat of the moment. He dropped his glove and punched him in the face. He did, but
he continued to go at him. Right?
It wasn't even that. He punched him a few times with the glove. Right, and knocked him a few times in the face with the glove. Aaron Ekblad clearly doesn't want any part of it. Yeah. Then he drops his right glove and socks him right in the face.
Yeah.
And preseason games, look,
you're fiery.
He'll be playing opening night. Yeah. He's playing opening night. He's not missing any time, really.
Yeah,
I know.
You have to realize Aaron Ekblad did not get injured from this. It was just a bloody nose.
It shouldn't matter.
No, it shouldn't matter. I get it. I'm with you. Maybe 1 preseason. I don't think 2. I think maybe he should have missed opening night against the Leafs. But it is kind of. But that's what you expect. Obviously, Ty, his father was into the fisticuffs. His son took after him. And that's just another turmoil for Montreal. Oh, by the way, Alex Galchenyuk scored. I think was it 2 goals or something.
Sounds about right. Way to go, Hab fans. I mean, everybody they've traded away has won a cup or something. I mean, that's what they find a way to do.
So, guys, thank you for tuning into episode 29. We're almost at episode 30 every single week. Next week.
Yeah, I think it's going to be same time next week.
Same time, same day?
I'm not exactly sure, to be honest with you. But
okay.
We'll keep
We'll tweet it out. We'll tweet it out, guys. So thank you very much. Follow up James's main channel. Follow up James's Twitter. Follow up my Twitter. Everything's going to be down low in the description box. And I guess you're going to be talking to them tonight?
I'll talk to you guys tonight, I guess, Leafs and Blue Jays edition, as obviously the preseason for the Leafs, and Blue Jays take on the Rays in Game 2 of the 4-game series. And Evan and I will talk to you guys sometime next week. We'll keep in contact with you guys.
Basketball fantasy?
We don't really know what's going on with that as of yet, but we'll keep you guys posted on the podcast next week about all that kind of stuff. We really appreciate your support, guys, and everything. And Evan and I will talk to you guys sometime next week. And we're hoping, once again, William Nylander has a contract by then. Yeah. But right now, it's all hopes and dreams.
Who knows?
Hopefully some positive things to talk about, though, next week.
Peace.